Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. It is Coach Lee, your productivity and accountability coach, here for another Sunday of, you've guessed it, the Success Started series. We go live each and every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about different topics that are all around the ultimate topic of helping you to set your week up for success. Because in setting your week up for success, you can do the work to set your life up for success. Because as your productivity and accountability coach, I'm all about empowering you and helping you to find that hidden time in your day, time that you can use to pour back into yourself as you pursue your goals, your purpose, your life passions, while still maintaining your current responsibilities without the overwhelm. And so as we continue in that vein and in that conversation and in that topic, we want to kick this week off talking about reclaiming your routines and how you can make these simple tweaks that ultimately makes your day work for you. Because it's no good for you to follow a system that works for someone else if that system doesn't work for you. And that's why I'm all about the one-on-one coaching and that personalized accountability and support, because I want you to find what it is that works for you. Because in finding what works for you, it'll allow you to stick with it and continue to do it. And so as we go through this holiday season, as we go through the end of this year, I want you to start making these changes now. Don't wait till 2025, because realistically, if you wait till 2025 to start working on your 2025 goals, you're already behind, and we don't want to be behind because you're already feeling overwhelmed and stressed out. And that's not your portion, and that's not what we want for you. And so let's talk about what this looks like as we walk through the Lee method. As you know, the Lee method is look, examine, and execute. It's all in my book, Lee's Laws of Productivity. You can get your copy on Amazon. But as we talk about reclaiming your routines and understanding if you don't have a routine, that you still reclaiming it, because technically whatever you're doing right now is your routine. But is it working for you? Exactly. So reclaiming your routine. And it's not about this major overhaul. It's not about this complete 180, 360, however you want to look at it. It's about small things. It's about simple tweaks that will make your days work for you. I don't want you thinking that it's already busy, I don't got time for this, when you want me to have time to make all these changes in my life. I don't. I want you to make small changes now that are going to compound. And as you make those small changes, get used to those small changes, you continue to build on and add on to those small changes. And each of those small changes are ultimately going to be the things that help change your life. And that's why I'm saying that waiting until 2025 is too late. Because in 2025, you often come into the new year and you're trying to do these complete 180s and these 360s. But I want you to start now with small changes, small tweaks. The things that you see that aren't working, the things that you see aren't, they're not jiving with what it is you want in life, start making changes there. And so let's start first with defining your ideal routine. That's the look. That's the L in the Lee method. Let's look at what your ideal routine looks like. And so when creating a routine, we want it to work for you. So your routine that you're creating, that you're crafting, that you're tweaking, that you're adjusting, should be something that prioritizes you. It should keep you at the forefront, because it's your routine after all. So what good is it for it to be your routine if it's prioritizing someone else? It's not. And that's why we're reclaiming our routines, to make sure that our routines are things that work for us, and in working for us, they're prioritizing us. And so when you think about creating this routine, you want to have something that has like a balance and a flow to it. Y'all know I'm anti-hustle and grind. I'm not anti-hard work, but I'm anti-hustle and grind. And if you don't have a routine that has this balance and flow to it, it often is going to put you into that place where you feel like you're in hustle and grind mode. That you're constantly on go and not feeling like you have any time to really settle and get anything done. That you're bouncing from task to task, but never actually completing anything. And so once you start creating a routine that prioritizes you, that's where you understand what your priorities are. What's your priority? And when we talk about routines, we can look at routines from your morning routines, your nighttime routines, the routine that you go through when you get to work for the day, when you leave work for the day, that you use to plan for the week, that you use to end the week. There are so many different routines that you can have in life, and all those routines that I just mentioned, I got something for all of those. And so you have to decide for you, where do you need to prioritize? Like, where do you need to prioritize yourself first? Because again, we're making simple tweaks. So out of all those things that I just named, a morning routine, a midday routine, a nighttime routine, a get to work routine, a leaving work routine, start the week or end the week routine, which of those has the most clutter for you in your life? Like, where do you need to prioritize you? And I get it. You might say all of them. But which one do you find is the most stressful, the most overwhelming, the most discombobulated at this point in time? I'm going to challenge you to start with the morning routine or your night routine, because often the way you start it in your day is the kicker. And then if you can get a handle on those, what happens in the middle could be better. But ultimately, it's up to you to decide and define what is the routine that needs the most work for you. Morning routine, midday, evening, get to work, go home, start the week, end the week, whatever. Choose one routine. And if you need specific help with a specific routine, obviously you can reach out to me. You can send me a message, or you can even comment below if you're watching live or on the replay, and we can talk about what the starting point is for any routine. Honestly, the starting point is going to be roughly the same for any of them, because you're deciding, again, something that works for you. And the whole point of this routine is that it's giving you structure and having you to where you have balance. And so no matter if you're thinking about morning routine or what you do when you get to work, the whole point of the routine is helping you to set yourself up for success. Because in setting yourself up for success, you can set that time of the day up, or that next activity up for success. So when you decide what is your ideal routine in whatever area you chose, what does that look like? Does it look like coming in, waking up, ending the day, whatever? And I'm going to talk mostly from the standpoint of like starting the day or starting your work day. And for me, the way I start my day and start my work day really honestly starts the day before. Because when I leave work, I make my to-do list for the next day. I try to straighten up my desk or put the thing on the desk that I'm going to be working on first, so that when I come in, I know exactly where I'm starting. And so for you, you have to decide, what does success look like in that area? Is it just being less frazzled? Is it having a better structure? Is it being able to work ahead? Is it being able to have systems? Is it being able to have order? What is it? What is success in whatever routine you're looking like, or looking at, or thinking about, or talking about look like? And so once you understand that, you're going to really examine why you don't have success right now in that phase. And when you do that, you're going to look at, what are the small tweaks that I can start making in the current habits, routine, system, organization, discombobulation that you have, that is going to ultimately have an impact on what it is you're looking to do. And so, like I said in the beginning, this isn't about a complete overhaul of life, an overhaul of systems. Yes, these changes that you're making are going to be things that are going to benefit you and impact you as you go forward. But this isn't about making that, again, 180 or 360, however you want to do the math, to say that I'm making this overnight change in this area. We want to make small tweaks. So if the thing that you realize is that I don't have a routine, and the fact that I'm just going through this day by day without any repetition or structure that I utilize to govern it, that's going to be where you start. You're going to start with doing that brain dump, making that to-do list, understanding what success looks like in that area, so you can really work on creating that success routine. Because once you decide and define that this is what I want success to look like in this routine, again, morning, midday, evening, get to work, go home, start the week, end the week, whatever. What does success look like in that area? And in understanding and defining, this is what I want success to look like, how can I get there? Because we have to start with the big picture. We have to start high level to be able to go down that funnel and go deeper. Because you know the lead method is all about starting big picture with looking, and then we're going to examine, and then we're going to create that game plan to execute. And so in this examination phase is where you're really trying to figure out, what does success look like, and what are the tweaks that I need to make to have that impact, to have that change, to get where it is that I'm looking to go. And again, we're talking small tweaks here. Because in making those small tweaks, number one, it'll be something that'll be sustainable, that you'll be able to stick with, that you'll be able to be consistent in. And in being consistent in it, you then build that habit. And once you start seeing those changes happen, you'll get that green light, you'll get that rush, you'll get that feeling of, I can be successful in this. What's next? And you'll be able and ready to go to that next level. And so when you think about, what changes can I make that's going to help me to be more productive? What changes can I make that's going to help me to be less stressed out? What changes can I make that's going to reduce that overwhelm? You need to be intentional in deciding and defining what that looks like. Exactly. Keep the priorities in line. Process of elimination, what will and won't work. Exactly. The only way you're going to figure out what works for you is to try something. Because once you try it, you're going to see that, okay, this part works, but maybe this part doesn't. Because maybe for you, working setting your to-do list for the night might not work for you. Maybe for you, it is best for you to make your to-do list in the daytime. For me, I like to end the day, clear my head by doing that brain dump and making my to-do list for the next day so that when I leave work, whatever's on my mind, I know. Which means when I wake up in the morning to come into my office here, or when I wake up to drive to work, I know that this is where I'm starting my day. And so if you know that that doesn't work for you, that starting the day, that you getting to work and you starting the day is where the priority of setting those priorities works best for you, start there. You're not going to know what works for you until you figure out what works for you. And the only way you're going to figure out what works for you is to try something. What did I say? First you don't succeed, try again. Exactly. So think about what changes can you make that are simple, that are easy, that are going to help you to make change. Once you start making change and being intentional about it, you can then be consistent in it. And so once you understand that, okay, this is the routine that I want to work on. This is what isn't working with the routine. So let me start figuring out what changes I can make that will make that better. You're then able to ultimately execute. And the execution phase is going to be you creating that game plan to build out this practice, to build out this routine. And in thinking about a routine, you want to have it to where, yes, it's something that you're doing every day, but you still, again, step back, make it big picture. What does this look like on a weekly basis? Because in creating and crafting routines, you have to understand that you have to be consistent in it. So you can't just have this routine and say, I'm going to just do this today and that's it. No. It has to be a weekly routine that you're doing every day. And so in creating and crafting these routines, you're able to not only be consistent with it, but you're able to prioritize you in the midst of it. Because the whole point of reclaiming your routine is that you're trying to find the thing that works for you. Because in working for you, you're prioritizing yourself, which means you're reclaiming your time, which means you are at the forefront of the routine. This isn't about creating a routine that's best for your boss. Because yes, your boss might want this done at this time, but if for you that doesn't work, it's not going to work. And I get that you can't tell your boss, I'm not going to do it when you want it, but you have to create a routine that works to where the deadline that they're imposing, you're able to work from that deadline. And it can be a collaborative process in some regard. You have to have your routine, but maybe it is a conversation with your boss of like, hey, we can't have the meeting and you give me the deadlines at the same day. We need to break it up, or whatever that might look like for you. And for that more specific and personalized approach, that's where I can come in and help you as your coach, because we're able to get into the nitty gritty of what it is specifically you're looking to do, you're struggling with, and you're trying to find that ebb and flow between this and that to make the plan that's going to work. And so once it comes to that execution phase of creating and crafting that game plan, I get it. You might feel that I get the routine that I need to work on. I get the things that aren't really working. I'm not really sure what that game plan is. That's where I can come in and support you as your productivity and accountability coach. That's where I can help you to understand, create, and implement this plan that's going to work for you to work through this process. So if that is something that you're looking for help or support with or looking to explore, just send me a message and we can have a conversation about what it is you're struggling with, figuring out if we can potentially be a good fit to work together, to work through and create this plan. Because if you start working on creating this plan now, once 2025 hits, you'll already be deep into it. And so as you're setting your goals for 2025, you'll be in the perfect place. Because we're 6-7 weeks out from the year? Exactly. And so think about what is it that you're looking to do and what is it that you're looking to create. So as you think about how can I reclaim my routine, how can I do it in such a way that my days work for me, it's all about the little things. It's all about the little tweaks. It's all about looking, examining, and executing. It's about putting the Lee method to work for you and what it is that you're looking to do. So first you need to define what is the ideal routine. And when we're talking about routines, you can have routines for any and every area of your life. Is that your morning routine, your midday routine, your evening routine, your get to work routine, your go home routine, your start the week, your end the week routine. And even within there might be other routines. Like for me, part of my ending the week routine is doing a brain dump, but it's also meal prepping. And so I have a whole meal prep routine that I typically do, like when I take out the food, when I make the grocery list, all the things. But there are routines that you can literally create and make for every area of your life. But if you start out with those big overarching areas, that's kind of the big areas that we often need routines in. And within those, you might create subsets or mini routines. But first, you need to define what your ideal routine is by deciding which of those areas has the most has the least structure and has the most clutter, and it's causing you the most stress and the overwhelm. And in choosing that area, create a routine that prioritizes you and encourages you to make a structure and create a day that's going to bring about balance and flow. Because we're letting go of hustle and grind. I've been telling y'all we're letting go of that for years, and we continue to let go of that hustle and grind mentality. And then once you understand what area needs this routine, you're then going to define what that looks like by understanding what tweaks do I need to make? Like, what's working in this routine? What isn't? And how can I go about crafting and creating something that's going to be intentional and help me to be productive and to let go of that stress and that overwhelm? And then ultimately, once you understand what is or isn't working in that routine, you're going to ultimately build a routine. You're going to build out that weekly, daily routine that you're going to use, understanding that consistency is going to be the most important thing to make that routine a habit that sticks. So as you think about how can I reclaim my routine, I want you to make sure you do your brain up and set your to-do list as you go into this week. We're approaching that halfway point of this month. And as we go into that, you need to decide, the goals of things that I set for this month, they aren't working. Let me reclaim. Let me pull back. Let me get back focused on it and continue to work and take actions necessary. So I hope that you're able to take these 3 tips that we went through today, put them through the lean method, to use them and to prioritize them. And again, if you're looking for support and accountability, reach out. Let's have a conversation. If you want to start simple, if you want to start small, you can get a copy of my book, Lee's Laws of Productivity. It's on Amazon. It's the ultimate guide to productivity all in one. It takes you through examples. It takes you through tips. You can read 10, 15 pages a day, not even necessarily. And you can get it finished by the end of the year. And as you're reading those pages, you can start implementing those things now to create and go through this, and you'll understand more in depth what the lean method really means and what it looks like for you in your life. So until next time, it's been Coach Lee, your productivity and accountability coach, here for another Sunday of, you've guessed it, the Success Starter series. I will see you guys next week, same time, same place, as we continue to make the journey and do the work to go through this process to make sure that you are prioritizing you, to make sure that you're falling back into you and prioritizing yourself as you continue to journey through this month, through this season, and as we end out this year and prepare for the year to come. So until next time, guys, it's been Coach Lee, your productivity and accountability coach. Coach Lee is out.